It's all subjective. I mean, what's a good deal? What's not a good deal? Where do you end up? What type of time? What type of work? What's your expectation of profit on a deal? And there's always the next deal. I mean, fortunately, like one deal doesn't matter. This kind of goes back to the same thing. Like if there's a deal and it doesn't make sense and somebody else beats you out on it, that's fine. There's another deal tomorrow. There's so much, if you're out there hunting and looking and operating, especially if you're on the acquisition side, there's so much opportunity. There's so much property in Jacksonville. There's so much ways to play the game that I just wouldn't get too caught up on that. If the holding cost doesn't work, just go to the next deal. Run your numbers, go to the next deal, make an offer and go. And don't get too caught up on, whether it's too tight or not tight or whatever else. And that would be my advice. There's an advantage to having cash and there's a disadvantage to having cash too. Disadvantages of having cash, you get lazy, right? You get lazy, you just throw money at problems. You don't really care. You don't drive out and manage properties well. You overpay for stuff because every time something happens, you don't want to fix it yourself. You just do it. So there's a lot of disadvantages in this business of having cash. And there's a lot of advantages being the young grinder that can go out there and knock on doors and needs to find a deal. If you don't need to find a deal, it's really easy not to find a deal. If you need to find one and you're out there grinding, there's plenty out there. So I don't look at it as a deterrent if you don't have money. Sure, it makes it easier to buy in volume if you have money, but you don't need it. Like there's plenty. You'll partner with people. There's plenty of people that would partner with people if you had zero assets to your name. As long as you have a deal that makes sense. And the key is just find something that makes sense. So, good question.
In this current market, how are you finding your leads?
Almost everything I'm doing is just word of mouth today. It's just through my network. So I used to, this is, 3 years ago, we were spending $400,000 to $500,000 a month on marketing, over $300,000 a month just on postcards, buying 50 plus houses a month. And today I spend, outside of networking stuff, I spend $0 on marketing and on stuff like that. And we're buying, let's just say 5 houses a month, is probably how much we're buying. And that's just through network. That's just people that know we can close and on our Facebook page or on REIA's Facebook. I mean, just deals show up and we just jump on them when they're easy. We're not very aggressive today. I'm not doing difficult stuff. I'm not looking for hard projects. I'm just looking for cookie cutter base hits, as many as I can do. And I can only do a couple a month. There's not that much out there. But there's a lot of deal. There's a lot of distress today. I mean, I don't know if you guys have felt it, but I feel like there's more people hurting today than if I would have been in here 6 months from now. I think there's just more people hurting today. Not only investors. I think there's investors hurting. I think there's just the general public's hurting. I think you're going to see delinquencies rise. I think credit card debt. I mean, the proof's there that credit card debt's continuing to rise. I think you'll see delinquency rise. And the unique thing is anyone who's doing acquisitions or looking for deals, I mean, those people have equity in their house. When 2012, it wasn't like that. Like in 2012, when you're going after deals, like you couldn't buy them from the owners because they owed $200 and it was only worth $100,000. Today, they owe $200 and it's worth $300,000. And that provides you a huge opportunity to find a solution. It's putting yourself in a position to talk to as many of those people as you can every single day and picking and choosing the ones that work. And picking and choosing the people that it makes sense, whether it is creative financing or whether there's a number at it. If you're doing acquisitions, you want to be talking to people every single day. The odds aren't good. The odds are stacked against you. If you're driving down the road and you pick out an ugly house and you say, that one I really like and I want to flip it. The odds of you buying that house at a number that is going to work between you and a seller, very low, right? But if you do it to 100 people a day, you got a decent chance. You do it to 100 people a day over a month, you're probably buying 2 houses, 3 houses a month. And that's the key. It's just a numbers game, and you've got to talk to enough people and get your pitch down and your story down and what you're looking for and be ready to attack when the time comes. But there's always distress. There's always, I mean, go back to I said CarMax earlier. People drive. If I had to sell my car today and I didn't, like, I'm not going to put it on Facebook Marketplace and have people come to my car. I'm just going to take a $10,000 hit and drive to CarMax because I don't feel like dealing with it. People do it with real estate every day. And if you're out there marketing and looking for it, then you can be the one that finds that. And the good thing about our business is you make your money a lot more spread than you do on a typical car or selling baseball cards or something else. I have a lot of like subcontractors, like flooring companies, roofing, AC companies, like that type of stuff that I feel good about recommending. When it comes down to like the general stuff, it's just hard. And I'll tell you why. It's hard to work for us. It's hard to work for investors, right? We all want it done fast, cheap, and everything else. It's hard to make a good long-term. You can find guys that do it, but when you find those guys, you don't sit there and tell everybody about them, and you don't want them working for somebody else, and you don't want them, like you want to hold on to your couple people that are willing. But those people also aren't going to be with you 20 years from now. Those people are going to be with you for a couple months, do a couple jobs, and then someone else is going to find out they do good work, and they're going to pay them a little bit more, and they're gone, as they should be gone. So there's a niche to finding the right people. There's plenty of people out there. Work's a lot easier today than it was 2 years ago. I mean, 2 years ago it was really difficult finding stuff. Today there's a lot of people hungry and looking for work. You just got to learn how to manage it. You got to learn your style. There's not a perfect way to manage investor style rehabs. There's a lot of different styles I feel like that works, and you just got to kind of figure out who you like, how they work with you, how much management you have on it, how distant you want to be from it, and you just got to find it. And my advice is, again, it's networking. It's when I need somebody, if I need a new AC company, I don't get in the phone book. I just call people that I know, and hey, who are you using right now for ACs? Who are you using for drywall? Who are you using for painting? And that's how I do it. And I do it on, whether it's on our Facebook page or just through my network, and that's where I get all my contacts. And ask, and do the simple. When it comes down to like interviewing contractors, just do the simple stuff, like ask for a referral, see what their last couple jobs were. Like people do it all the time. Don't pay them up front. If it's a $50,000 rehab, don't write them 25 grand up front. If they demand it, they're just not. It doesn't matter. They could be really good, but you got to know that you have a risk there. And if they take it from you, you should almost assume that could happen up front. And again, like I do it. Like I'll have contractors that do work for me, and I'll give them a couple $1,000, and like I know my risk that if they don't do it, like I'm not going to sue them. I'm not going to waste time chasing bad money. But you've got to just kind of learn your thing, and you got to do a couple. The more you do, and the more you get used to it, and you figure out who your team is, the easier it gets. It's really hard when you're sitting and never done it before, but you got to almost dive in and do a couple. And then it'll come together. A lot of people say, hey, what's your best deal you've ever done? I get that question a lot. What's the best deal you've ever done? And I often think about really what's the worst deal? The worst ones are the ones I didn't do, right? So the worst deals that I've ever done are the ones that were in my circle of competency. I understood it. The price was right. There was no reason for me not to do it. Those are the ones that haunt me day to day, where I look back, I'm like, I cannot believe I could have bought that 17 blocks in Jack's Beach for 600 grand, and I didn't do it, and whatever reason, and I didn't do it, right? And those ones haunt me all the time. Looking back on it, I mean, for me, it's easy to say, hey, looking back, what would I do different? Well, I grew up during the 2012, 2008 to 2015 era. That was when I was gung-ho. I mean, that was a different game than it is today. Completely different game, different strategy, different money level, different way to operate. So, I mean, there's massive. I mean, if I could go back and not buy 15 or 1,600 rentals that I bought, and I would have bought just really high quality assets. I could have bought 200 awesome high quality assets. I could have kept the 40 lots I sold east of 3rd Street in Jack's Beach that I paid 40 grand a lot for, and built rentals, and it would have been similar value as 600 rental properties. There's a lot of things I could do in hindsight, but it's a journey. Like I'm 40 now. I've still got plenty of time to play the game. I'm not looking to stop. I enjoy it. I wake up every day, looking for how can I continue to play. So there's not really much regrets or other things that I would do differently, to be honest. Just like could I have made a lot more money doing a lot of other strategies? Sure. Single family is really hard to get very, very, very rich. If you guys want to be billionaires, you're not going to do it flipping houses. If you want it, so it's very hard. It's a very good way to make good money though, and live a good lifestyle. But I mean, yeah, there's the ones that I always regret are just the ones that I didn't do. Those are the ones that haunt me. I'm keeping almost nothing today. So to me, it doesn't, depending on who you are, for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that between the cost of acquisitions, the cost of construction, cost of building, whatever it is, the cost of capital, the opportunity, whether it's even my cash or the cash I have into it, the opportunity cost of that capital, the management that it takes, the potential rent returns I think that we're going to see in the business. I don't think in this market, at least for me, it makes sense to buy any rental properties or be very selective on what I do there. But everybody's different. Like everybody has to look at that for themselves and figure out what's the strategy, why are they doing it, what's the purpose. And the other thing I'll add to that is the strategy you have today will be completely different in 2 years, let alone 5 or 10 years. You know, where I am today financially, you know, or you know, when I came out of college, when I sat here in Jacksonville, it's like, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. And then, you know, sure enough, I accomplished that, but like that meant nothing at the end of the day. And then it's like, I want to be able to, you know, by the time I'm 35, be able to, you know, retire or whatever. And it's like, okay, maybe I could have done that, but I don't want to retire. It's so like your goal's constantly changing. Your horizons just keeps going. And so I try not to get too caught up on that, and just, we were saying earlier, continue to play the game, but I'm not keeping much. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, at least for me, to keep rentals today. So who do I hang out with? Who are all my closest friends? I was in the Bahamas last weekend. Who was I hang out with? Alex Safakis owns JDBB, Christian Harding, who owns a big commercial real estate brokerage. I'm around it every single day. It's who I hang out with. It's who my friends are. It's what I enjoy doing. If I had a choice of going out with my high school friends to Ruth Chris for dinner, or going out with my real estate friends, like I'd rather talk real estate than talk about any other thing else. So bring your life around it. Bring your friends around it. Like, hang out with people that are in the game, and surround yourself with the people at, you know, the highest level that you possibly can, that are in your game, and don't get too caught up on, like, I don't look at work as, it's not work. Like, you're not work. Like, going out and visiting somebody, you're not grinding. You're not out there in the bottom of a, you know, a steel mill or a bottom of a big pit shoveling something. Like, it's not that bad. Enjoy it. Learn to love it. And when you learn to love it, it's kind of fun. Like, there's no days where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to work. And the cool thing about our business, if I did, I just wouldn't go in, right? And you wouldn't have to go in either. And so I think that's my method, has been just, you know what, surround yourself with people that are also like that. And you'll see as you get older, those people will just become part of your life. Like, when you're younger, when you're your age, it's a little harder, and everybody's out doing their own thing, and there's a lot of distractions. But as you get older, you'll end up surrounding yourself with more and more aligned people to you. You'll care less and less about your old friends that aren't doing anything. And I would say it almost gets easier. I think it almost gets easier.